Those who sympathetically help anxious people may use phrases that are wrong and not only do not help but make the situation more difficult for the anxious person. If we want to relieve stress or anxiety from a friend or loved one, it is often difficult to say the right thing. The natural instinct is to reassure them that everything is fine to minimize anxiety, but this method does not work properly. Then join us to learn how we can help others in difficult situations. Watch this video to learn 9 things we should not tell an anxious person. Saying things like "don't worry" or "everything is fine" cannot help anyone get better. Anxiety has a wide range from mild to severe, and there are many variables that affect a person. And remember that they did not choose anxiety, and it is very difficult for them to control their emotions. In other words, if you cannot calm them down with the right words, the conversations will go to exaggeration. Conditions in this case for anxious people not only do not get better but also get worse. Subscribe our YouTube channel to watch the rest of this video and more. The statements like "rely on yourself" we make actually encourage the other party to do things that, if the person is unable to do, exacerbate his or her anxiety and increase frustration. Anxiety is just like any other part of mental health. It's better to be honest with your feelings and do not feel too anxious. You can ask help for people who are anxious to start. How do they feel? What caused this feeling? Do they have a way to regain their comfort? And what can we do to help? You can worry people with the wrong words. Our brain is connected to our whole body. Stress can cause anxiety, changes in blood circulation and hormones, which can lead to intestinal disease or high blood pressure. For example, we often begin to speak kindly and begin to say positive things to start empathizing with people, like "everything will be fine." And when we do not reach the conclusion, we say, "if you stay in this state, you will get sick." In this conversation, we indirectly say to the other's party brain, "you have to get sick from all this stress." We should not use this sentence as a stress relief technique. We cannot invite someone who is anxious to rest. Saying this sentence is like telling someone who has a cold not to sneeze. Anxiety puts people at the highest level of alertness, and in this situation, any small issue can be considered worrying and dangerous. It is interesting to know that our genes also affect our moods. So, thinking or not thinking about the thoughts that make the snake anxious is out of control, and repeating "don't think about it so much" makes you nervous. Saying you need a drink is very wrong. Self-medication in psychology leads to all kinds of pain. Many people who suffer from anxiety also have substance abuse problems, so it is forbidden to suggest the use of any altering substances. Stress and anxiety are not one thing, however, they are often used interchangeably. Stress is a physical response to situations and events. According to the American Anxiety and Depression Association, stress symptoms include palpitation, high blood pressure, flushed face, mood swings, and anxiety. Anxiety, on the other hand, affects the mind. Often stress and anxiety come together, or in the case of anxiety, it can be said to start with stress. Unfortunately, saying "be a man" to some men who do not feel psychologically secure and stable is very wrong. In fact, with this world, we consider their anxiety as a product of their immaturity, which is a kind of fault-finding. In those sensitive situations, people are looking for your psychological support, not blame. Saying "I'm stressed too" will make the other person feel anxious and aggravate their worries and anxieties. It is better to support the anxious person by listening without judgment, and do not talk about your anxiety.